Hello and welcome to the latest episode of The Board Masters with me, Chris Mullins, and tonight we will be looking at the second part of my existing collection. Now, last week's video was one that I recorded way back in November when we had the November lockdown as sort of a filler when obviously Kurt and Chris and I couldn't get together to play games, and at the time those 8, 9, 10 games I think it was in the video were basically all I had acquired at that time. Since then, I've had a December birthday, I've had Christmas, I've had Black Friday, so I have acquired a bunch of other games. Some of them, I think one of them has already appeared on the channel, but not as a playthrough, so I am going to include it in this. Most of these games, I think there's only two here that I haven't filmed some footage on so far, but that's pretty much all been unboxings, but I just haven't had the chance to fit it in on the channel yet. So again, I'm hoping to feature all of these at some point. And with that being said, let's dive straight in. I'll start with the biggest one, and it is this big old beauty. So we've got Too Many Bones by Chip Theory Games, and this is a stunning game. I mean, the production quality is absolutely insane. I know Chip Theory Games do have a reputation for that, and I wasn't sure how they could live up to it when this game arrived, because again, it's something I'd heard about all through the Burn Cycle campaign, which if you've seen my Kickstarter backlog, you will know that I have backed that. And well, I was tempted to actually get this in the Pledge Manager for that, but then when I had a look at it, being in the UK, obviously, we now have the controversial VAT rules and everything, which affected Massive Darkness, which I'll talk about again in a later video. But basically, when I looked at Too Many Bones, it would have cost an extra, I think, £30 in VAT to have got it as part of the Pledge Manager instead of getting it before the new year. So I grabbed it for myself then. I played it mostly solo. I have played one or two games with my wife, Stace, and we do really enjoy this game. I was tempted to do a solo series on it in the same way that I'm doing Seventh Continent and Lord of the Rings, but part of me really wants to hold on until I can get 2 or 3 people together and we can have a proper multiplayer, because I think that's where this really shines. So I'll pop that down, but again, something I'm really hoping to feature on the channel. The next one is the one that has been featured a number of times on the channel, and that is Super Club. And this is the game that obviously, if you've seen my footage on that, you will know I bought this before I even got into the hobby, really. This is just something I bought because I grew up playing Football Manager, and it may have been what opened my eyes a bit to the new world of board games, but before Return of Dark Tower really blew that door down. But obviously, so far on the channel, I've done an unboxing and a how to play on Super Club, but I really, really, really want to get it to the table for a proper playthrough at some point, because I am gutted that I got this in September and I still haven't had a proper game of it yet. I'm really excited by that one. And the same can be said of this next game. Again, this is one, if you've seen the Takenoko gameplay me, Chris and Kurt played, you will know at the end of that video I stated that the next game we're going to play is Evidel, and that was the plan. Prior to that November lockdown, this was the next one. We played a practice game, we were all ready to dive in, and then lockdown came in, and then following November lockdown, Kurt couldn't come back, so Chris chose to play Dinosaur Island instead, and then we're in another lockdown, so Evidel has just been put off and put off and put off. Again, I've got an unboxing video filmed that I did with my wife, and I think I'll be uploading that tomorrow. Yeah, Wednesday, because I'm just not well enough to do a Lord of the Rings playthrough this week. So apologies for that, but that means the unboxing of the collector's edition of Evidel will be going up tomorrow. And again, really enjoyed the playthroughs that I've had on the game. I just need to get it to the table again. Next one is a game that I am in the middle of a sort of, well, it's not technically a campaign, but for purposes of this video I'm going to call it a campaign. In the middle of a campaign with my wife Stace, and we have played the first 2 days, and we just need to get back to it. We've recorded those because we wanted to record and test basically Awaken Realm State, how you do not need to learn a rulebook before you start playing this, and we wanted to put that to the test. So keep your eye on the channel, subscribe down below, and you will see how that went when this goes live. But again, if you've seen my other footage, you will know how many Awaken Realms games I've backed. I've got Great Wall, I've got ISS Vanguard, I've bought Tainted Grail. I missed the campaign, but I've got a copy which should be arriving later in the month, and that is one I probably will do a solo campaign on the channel. There is another one that is completely escaped my mind right now. Yeah, it's completely gone. Great Wall, ISS Vanguard. Etherfields, of course. The most expensive game I bought. And I completely forget its name. And one of the most exciting games because it is gorgeous. But back to this. This is based on a video game that I love the theme, love the art style. I just don't get on with the combat in it. But I think this actually takes the theme and everything I love about the video game, distills it into a board game without the horrible controls for the combat, so I think it's actually a far more enjoyable experience. But yeah, keep your eye on the channel because Stace and I will have a playthrough of that up in probably, I would think, in a month. Yeah, I think I've got, on the Friday, I've got Dinosaur Island review with Chris this week. Then another one of the games, I've got 3 weeks of footage, and then I think it's going to be this War of Mine. So keep your eye, like I said, subscribe down below and you'll be notified when that comes up. The next one is technically Stace's game, not mine. I bought her all of it for Christmas in terms of this and the expansions. Obviously a new one's just been announced, which I'm not too enthused by. I mean, Lady Tremaine, I know she's an iconic character in Disney, but she doesn't really seem to fit the theme of the game, in my opinion. But that's a conversation for another day. We played this quite a lot since Christmas and really, really enjoy it. Haven't dove into the expansion packs yet, but really looking forward to that because there's some great characters in there. And again, hopefully we'll get some gameplay footage of that up on the channel soon. The only one that's still in shrink wrap is Seven Wonders. And again, that's a casualty of lockdown, unfortunately. I got it for Christmas and basically it's a 3-player game. And Alex isn't ready for this yet at all. We are currently, he's played a couple of the games that are there, and I've bought some other games that are a bit more family friendly for him. But this one is going to be one that has to sit and wait till after lockdown, unfortunately. But certainly one that I have been very keen on ever since I got into the hobby. So just biding my time on that one, really. Moving on to the one that is going to be the next game that is featured on the Fridays, and it's Nino Cooney 2 from Steamforged Games, and it's based on an IP that I absolutely adored. I played both Nino Cooney games towards the end of last year, actually whilst I got this and while we were playing that, so I referenced that in the footage when I got in Black Friday, and we love it. It's one of our favourite family games, so spoilers there if you're waiting for the Nino Cooney 2 review. We do really like this game. And next Friday, I think there'll be the unboxing of it. Friday after that will be the playthrough with me, Stace and Alex, so it's going to be his first appearance on the channel. And then the week after I do my review in a bit more detail. And then we've got a few smaller ones. So this is one, Pirates of Penryn by Sea Griffin Games, that I got as part of a Kickstarter campaign for Dice Splice, which again, if you saw the Kickstarter part 3, that was in there. And as part of that campaign, I got Pirates of Penryn, their last game. And again, it's one that I just need to get to the table. I think it's a bit too complicated for Alex yet. There are family-friendly rules in there, but I'm still not sure he'll really engage with that. Planning to trial it over the next week or so. And from what I understand, this game that shines at a higher player count, so 3 or 4, because then you start getting into more conflict. And so I'm holding off on this, either until I know Alex is ready for it, or until we can get a few more people back round and get the game nights going again. But again, it is one that I'm excited by. I have filmed an unboxing the mat in there, the cloth mat, is absolutely stunning. It's absolutely beautiful, and I cannot wait to show that on the channel. The next one from a Kickstarter campaign is Villagers, which is one I got as part of the Streets campaign. And again, it's one, I think we had it lined up next for after Everdell, and I know it's one Chris is excited to play as well, so hopefully, again, once lockdown is all lifted and we got the game nights together, we'll play a bit of Everdell, get a few weeks of that under our belts, get that recorded, and then we'll probably be moving on to Villagers. And then I would think Villagers, Seven Wonders, Pirates of Penryn. Super Club's going to depend, because I think a lot of my board game friends aren't that interested. It's one that appeals more to my football fan friends who don't play board games. So we'll just have to see when I can fit that in. And the final one is one that we played for the first time today. Disney's Hocus Pocus, which is obviously based on the movie. It's a movie we absolutely adore. It's a game that I didn't know existed till about a month ago, and then I saw it when I was bored at work. And my colleague Kay, who came up with the name of the Boardmasters, also loves the movie and basically demanded I get it. And I don't need telling twice. I am very impressionable when it comes to board games, we've discovered very quickly. So I went out and bought it within an hour. And it's one, as I said, we played today, me, Stace and Alex, and thoroughly enjoyed it. Although it's not very complex, it is surprisingly hard, especially at a lower player count. It did get a lot easier with the three of us instead of just me and Alex. And I'm just debating what sort of footage I'm going to do on that. I think I wasn't going to do an unboxing because it is fairly basic components in there, but I'm having second thoughts about that, and I might do just a quick one, or I may just do an overlook as part of the review perhaps. But yeah, I'm sure, again, I really want to focus all of these on the channel at some point, but then I said that about all the games that were in the first part of my existing collection, and pretty much none of those, other than Dinosaur Island, have made the cut. So who knows when these will be, but if there's any you really want to see, please let me know in the comments below. And again, if there's demand for it on the channel, then they will be prioritized at the top. So please just let me know. I hope you like the look of them, and I hope they're games you do want to see on the channel in the future. Again, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you stay safe and look after yourselves. Have a good one. Bye bye now.